Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. So it's going to be pretty casual talk. You might even hear a little bit going on in the background today. So I'm kind of between lessons and stuff. So just going to have kind of a casual talk about learning tunes and kind of the different elements of that and what you might want to kind of work on. And generally, the member area on YouTube in particular is kind of a place where you can work on kind of what to practice and how to practice and different things like that. So it's sort of geared towards that whole thing. So one of the first things I'd say is try to find some element of a tune that interests you or that you're interested in. So is it kind of the chord changes, or is it the melody, maybe a combination of different things? Is it a rhythm or a particular arrangement, or is there an artist that you really like their version of the tune? So those are some elements that can really help the process. Kind of need to have that happening, like that, the level of interest in some sort of a tune. So that being said, there are certain things that are you're going to need to work on with pretty much all tunes. So you want to know essentially the big picture of the form. So let's say Quasimodo. So you take a look at maybe even the number of measures. Okay, we've got 32 measures. Okay, how is the form split up? So kind of A, B, A, C, or you could just think of it as 216 bar sections, like A and a B. And maybe even try to work with some of those different perspectives on it. You want to think about what the tonic is, what key you're in. So in this case, on this tune, we're in E flat. So one thing that you might do there is look at maybe the first chord of every odd numbered measure, or maybe every especially on sort of traditional tunes that follow some like 32 bar form, or take every fifth measure, or every four measures. So we've got the E flat, we've got the 1 chord, and then the 2 chord on measure 5. Got the 6 chord, measure 9, and we've got the 5 chord, measure 13. Okay, so those are important moments. And then take a look and let's take a look at the section and say, okay, how does it kind of get to those spots? So so we get back, it's kind of going back and forth on that 2-5. Right, and then we get the 5 of the 6, so secondary dominant. But even, odd numbered tones, so going a little bit deeper, we see we have on measure 1, E flat, measure 3, the F, so back and forth. And just kind of take it and just kind of drill deeper into it like that, and see, okay, well, how does it get to whatever note, so, or whatever chord, right? So key center, basics of the chord progression, and what's kind of happening in that sense. And in the with the harmony as well, see if you can take play each string as sort of an individual voice, especially with the chords. Now the root notes, those may tend to jump around a little bit more, but especially the voicings. Okay, so it's like having just two members of a choir, playing certain tones together, and it moves in a specific way. So that can be really helpful to start with that. One thing you can do is take, let's say, E major 7, E flat major 7, excuse me, so E flat major 7, and then take a D7 chord and maybe play like a second inversion of it. So notice there's no D in this chord, but what you're going to do there is really kind of explore how these voices move. So let's say F minor, if I go to second inversion, and then I go to root position B flat 7, then I'm going to really be able to kind of see how that moves from one to the next. Okay, so root position, second inversion type chords for drop 3 type voicings. And then when it comes to drop 2 type voicings, then you may also kind of do the same, I guess, kind of the same thing. Right, to just get a sense for how voices move and what's happening there, to give it some context from one chord to the next. Now, of course, there's the melody, which is really sitting at a very high priority, because that is sort of at the essence of what the tune is. So that's the sung part, or the part that a lead instrument might play, and so that's going to carry a lot of weight, and it's sort of the identifying marker of a particular tune. So there, you want to take and find a lot of different ways to play a certain group of notes. We had that. We can play that in different spots. I think I talked about this in another talk, but maybe play it lower, play a lot of different other spots, get to know what the scale degrees are, or how the note lays into the scale. You could think of mi, fa, so, mi, right, with solfege, or you could think about the numbering system, or just the notes in the key, and also just how it relates to the chord. So we've got this tone on the here. This is the third of this chord, right? And then really kind of those notes before, more of a B flat sort of sound. You can kind of hear how that resolves. Okay, just as an example, and maybe even harmonize some of these, or all of the tunes, and that can really help things as well. There's a whole world of phrasing and finger options and picking, not picking, tapping, sliding, hammer-ons, pull-offs, so various ways of slurring, various ways of accenting, hitting the notes louder or softer. You can also play kind of degrees of on the beat, before the beat, behind the beat. And one little element I was working towards there on the melody video was to play certain notes like maybe a little bit behind the beat, you know. Think of an example here. If I could think of where that was. Oh, I think it's up here. So you have, you know, playing that G, you know, kind of a little bit late. I think I definitely did that on the first time through. So just there's so much that you can work on there. It's just a huge amount. So trying different positions, try phrases in different places, and then of course there's the whole practical level of how is this going to flow nicely and be sort of somewhat easy to play on the fingerboard. So so there's that element of things. So another issue is another thing to consider is the tempo and the feel, the rhythm, those sorts of elements. So this one, this tune is generally a swung kind of thing, but you might even experiment with playing it even eighths, or you might experiment with different shades of that, you know. For example, I really liked coming out of the 16th notes with kind of a sort of wide swing with the notes that happen after the 16th note. So really just kind of have a real wide swung sort of eighth feel, and then maybe other parts have it just a little more, somewhat more even. But so there are also kind of shades of that you can play around with timing wise. And you know, just to mention also the melody, just the accuracy of playing triplets, you know, versus quarter notes and 16th notes and that kind of thing. And then improvising and coming up with phrases and ideas and things like that. So I think I'm going to do a live stream hopefully later this week on that. So some things you can do with that, which I'll probably end up talking about, is, you know, maybe doing arpeggios. Right, so playing the arpeggios can give you a really clear outlook on how the lines are moving from one note to the next when you're playing through. So all right, so I'm gonna wrap up with that, but learning tunes, also arranging, you know, maybe deciding a intro, deciding what you might want to do on an intro, or do you even want to have maybe an interlude or something, and playing the melody, being able to play the chords, being able to improvise on a tune. So all those kinds of things working on a particular tune and just kind of working through it. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for checking this out, and I will see you all in the next one.